Hey guys, Troon here with Pharmacy Central. Today I just want to talk about the keto diet. We generally don't advocate anything that we're not trying ourselves. I've been on the keto diet for the last 6 months and I have some really good things to say about it, definitely some things of caution to say about it for those that are trying to. So the thing about the keto diet is I didn't do it for weight loss at all. My family, it runs in my family to have diabetes, and my A1C was creeping up there. For those that don't know, your A1C is your 3-month picture of your blood sugar. And so if you hit 6.5 and above, you are officially diabetic. And once you are classified in medical world as 6.5, your body will always be in a diabetic state, which means your pancreas is now on its way down, right? Your pancreas produces insulin. And so I remember going to my doctor going, I don't understand. I was so frustrated. I was like, I'm a health professional myself. Like, I eat really good. I work out. I am a foodie. I do love to eat, but I do it all within reason. And we went through my meal plans for the day. I mean, for lunch, Monday through Friday, I would meal prep. I'd make quinoa with ground meat and vegetables and grilled vegetables. All good stuff. And even for dinner, I was eating really, really good. And he was like, sometimes you're just dealt a bad hand in genetics. And that's just such a terrible thing to hear from your doctor, but it's true. And so he goes, the only other thing you can try, after he kind of heard what I eat throughout the day and how much I work out, I even had taken up marathon running. That's something that's been really new for me, is running marathons. I stopped lifting weights as much. I was like, okay, I'm done with all the muscles. Let me just shed fat like crazy. Maybe that'll help with my blood sugar. He was like, you can try this. It's definitely a huge lifestyle change, but he's like, you could try the keto diet. And he was like, do you know anything about it? And I was like, no, I don't know a thing. At that time, I thought it was just like anything else. It's a fad diet, right? A crash diet. It's not going to work. It may work for a couple of days, but you're going to bounce back, which is what all diets are. You essentially will bounce back once you go back to your normal habits. The only rule with diets is the diet that works is the diet you can stick to. That's it. Hands down, there's no other advice to give to people on this. That's it. That is a holy grail of information that you need to know when it comes to a diet. Stick to the diet that you can stick to, because that's the only one that'll work, right? So he was like, go home and read on it, look into it, and see if you can stick to it, and then come back in 3 months and run your labs, and let's see how you are. So I had come back, I started off with my baseline at a 6.3, which means 0.2 more, and I'm officially diabetic, which I'm almost there. He even gave me a prescription for metformin, which is the first medication you take when you become diabetic. I refused to take the medication. I was like, I'm not letting this happen. I'm too young. I'm in my early 30s. I'm not gonna be diabetic. That's terrible. I don't want it. So I looked into the keto diet. It was definitely something that kind of turned my world. I was like, I can't fathom not eating any type, because you have to understand how much of you eat has carbohydrates in it. Beans, carbohydrates. Corn, carbohydrates. Anything that is either sugar or carbohydrates essentially in your body will turn into sugar. So you want to avoid anything that is going to spike your sugar in your body, which is going to cause an increase in insulin as well in your body, because now your body's at a place where it's not making so much, so you don't want to use that supply of insulin, right? So I was like, okay, all of these things that I eat have carbs in them. A lot of the vegetables I like eating, all the good vegetables worth eating, have carbs in them. So it was extremely restrictive. And then all your life you've been hearing, don't eat fat, don't eat high-fat foods. And so you've been eating low-fat everything, everywhere, all the time. And now all of a sudden on keto, they're like, you can eat fat. You actually need to have a high-fat intake, moderate to low amount of protein intake, and almost a 0 carbohydrate intake per day. It flips your mind, because you're always like, I need to eat a lot of meat, but I do need to have a little bit of carb, and I do need to have a little bit of fat. No, and a little bit of carbohydrates too with it. No. Totally different on how keto works. You need to put your body in ketosis. I know people always talk about that. I'm only going to mention ketosis maybe 3-4 times in this whole thing, because we kind of get it. Everyone's like, your body's in ketosis. Yeah, I get it. Essentially, when your body, man-made's body back in the day when we were cavemen and all that, we ran off of meat and vegetables and things like that anyway, so we were burning fat. when we started eating bread and sugars and fruits, our body over time became accustomed to burning this as our main fuel source. So 99% of people out there, we all eat a balanced meal. So our bodies are always burning the number one fuel source, which is sugar and carbohydrates. Now, in this diet, once you deplete that fuel source and you can't run off of this, your body then kicks into overdrive and then starts to burn fat as its fuel source. So in theory, it sounds awesome, right? When you burn fat, the byproduct of those molecules are ketones, and so it runs off of ketones. I'll briefly kind of touch on some of the things that they talk about everywhere else, where you get the keto flu for a few days. It takes your body a few days to really adjust having to be off of a sugar or a carbohydrate fuel source, and so you get headaches and things like that, and your body's supremely fatigued. Muscle cramps are an issue. I mean, get through that. That's just byproduct of really switching something up on your body so drastic like that. You really need to spend a good couple of days just researching what recipes are out there. What do you eat on a normal basis? I don't think a keto diet is very doable if you don't eat eggs, if you don't like eggs. I love eggs, so that has been my saving grace on the keto diet. And I can prep eggs so many different ways: French style, South Asian style, the different masalas that we use in Indian cooking. I put that in eggs. I mean, I make so many different variations on eggs, I don't get bored of it. And so that's been a lot of help. And then even those bowls that I was telling you, I was making bowls with like quinoa, ground meat, and vegetables. Now I just do meat and ground and vegetables. So cut the quinoa out completely. In 3 months, I stuck to it. So to do strict keto, you have to stay under 20 grams. Now, did I measure everything out? Not really, but you eyeball everything. And so I did it that way. I'm also a bigger dude. I get hungry, so I can't help it, okay? So I'll eat. Nuts were like a huge snacking point for me, and that's maybe why I didn't lose as much weight as a lot of these people do when you see like, I've been on keto for X amount of months, look how many pounds of weight I lost. I lost a little bit of weight, not a ton, but I mean, things like nuts and stuff really help keep me full. I was always a bigger guy, I get hungry. So, but that's high in fat, super high in fat. So if you still eat way too much fat, your body is going to store it in as fat. So, that was kind of a big aspect for me there. But in 3 months, I was able to take my A1C down from 6.3 to 5.7, which means if I was 0.1 lower, 5.7 to 6.4 is pre-diabetes. If I was 0.1 lower, I wouldn't even be pre-diabetic right now. I'd be probably completely off of it, totally. Now, I'm due to go back to the doctors again and check it, so I should be definitely under 5.7. So, I mean, I've been able to ward it off myself, but again, it is a very restricting diet. Alcohol, you have to look into the alcohol whenever you drink. There's a lot of hidden carbohydrates and everything. Flat out liquor just has ketones in it, so your body has to burn off that before it can burn off the ketone reserve in your body. So things like that. So you got to look into it. I'm a huge craft beer drinker. Beer was like a no-no. I had to be friends with Michelob Ultra, which, if you drink craft beers, it's a huge step down. But, over the last couple months, I've kind of gotten used to Michelob Ultra. It's not half bad. I mean, I drink it now, But what I've kind of done in these last 3 months is, now that I got my A1C kind of fixed out, I want to see how much wiggle room do I have, because your journey with blood sugar and weight loss is always a lifelong journey. You're never just going to get to where you need to go and then that's it, right? So I was trying this thing called cyclic keto, because at the same time I was prepping to run my first half marathon in the middle of me doing this whole keto jazz. Update, I did do it. I was able to run the 13.1 miles. That was awesome, so good me. But I did start eating bread about 3 or 4 days before because I wanted to carb load. I was having massive cramping issues, muscle cramp issues. So you do have to drink a lot of electrolytes. I started taking electrolyte capsules and stuff like that too, because the supplementation problem is that big. Yeah, so I've started doing cyclic keto because I do want to, you don't have the kind of energy to work out every day or every other day. At least I wasn't able to. If you are, that's awesome. But I wanted to get my physical activity back up, because when I was on the full-on straight keto diet, I had the perfect amount of energy to get through my day without multiple cups of coffee. I had 1 cup of coffee every morning, and that was it. And all day I just had a good streamlined amount of energy to get through my day. But did I have enough energy to go to the gym and pound out a leg day and stuff like that? Like, no, I didn't. And I kind of missed that because I love going to the gym. And I loved running more. I was running like 4 or 5 times a week outside. I couldn't do that on keto. My energy level wasn't there. So doctor was like, you can try cyclic keto. Cyclic keto being, you can eat carbs every other day, load up every 2 days. I was a little bit more extreme. Again, I'm not doing this for weight loss. For me, it's about blood sugar. So Monday through Friday, I want to keep it completely strict keto, under 20 grams, maybe 30 if I'm being a little risque. But on the weekends, I can then eat whatever I want. And so I'm going to go and test myself out and see how that works, and see if because that's more of a sustainable lifestyle. For me to completely cut out burgers, pizzas, fries, that's just really hard. Learn to make keto pizza. That was definitely a huge saving grace for me. Once a week, I always make myself keto pizza. You use like almond flour, eggs, and cheese, and pepperoni and stuff like that. But I'm never going to tell you exactly how to do it. I think everyone does keto their own way. But this is a diet that is not just a fad. I found it to be beneficial, helpful to me. Now, the second part of getting keto right is, I want that like massive weight reduction. So that's what I'm going to work on next. But as far as getting my blood sugar down, this has been an amazing process. I was able to get it down. Hopefully I can ward off diabetes for at least another 10 to 15 years, probably more if I can just stay keto pretty much all the time. So guys, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments below about the whole keto journey and all that jazz, I'll break it down.